Is the United States heading into a split of civilizations? Let's find out. That's the theory posed by our next guest.
Yeah, we want to welcome to the program Roy Berzala, and he is with us from Israel now at this point, and he has a book called The Objective Bible. Roy, nice to have you on the Bill and Joel Morning Show.
Hello, good morning, and shalom from Israel.
Thank you very much. Your book presents a theory that predicts that the United States is heading into a split of civilizations. Exactly what you mean. What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean is if you study the roots of the United States, it's starting with the Puritans in England, people like Sir Isaac Newton, the great scientist who is the father of modern science, John Locke, who founded the philosophy of classical liberalism, individual rights, which Thomas Jefferson and who wrote the Declaration of Independence called them the greatest men who ever lived. So this philosophy of the Hebrew, rooted in the Hebrew scriptures, was the basis of the foundations and the Declaration of Independence of the United States. So you may say that this philosophy, which is similar to what ancient Israel was built upon, the Ten Commandments, the Mosaic Law, Moses giving the Ten Commandments to the children of Israel in Mount Sinai, is the same process, historical process you see that brought about the development of the modern world from the English Puritans that established these principles in the United States.
And to kind of dovetail this, I mean, we've seen Israel evidently, through your book, and you talk about this, Israel going through this. So what does the United States then look like? Is it the country that we know today? Is it less? Is it more? What do we look for as we go to the future?
Well, if you go back and read the Bible, you understand that the moral foundations of our civilization are really rooted in these ideas, starting in the Genesis and going on.
Right.
And it is clear that as we distance ourselves from it, we're going to get worse, and it's that simple. So the conclusions of my book are that we are on the wrong path right now, and what I'm trying to do is deliver this message of identifying the important ideas, the crucial ideas that are the basis of our philosophy, of our liberty, of our individual rights, and how we can deliver this message to the students in colleges who need to study the ideas of the Bible. And the future of our nations resides in the next generations, whose mind is being molded in today's educational system. So I think it's very important to return to those fundamental principles of ethics, of morality, of individualism that the United States was founded upon.
I would agree, Bill.
I'm curious as to along this timeline. Let's take a look at it as a timeline. How quickly do you think something like that could happen, a change of consciousness, if you will, of the society?
Well, I believe it's certainly possible because it is clear that the Bible and the people the United States was founded as a religious country, it still is a strong religious base, and if the Christian and the Jewish people return to these fundamental principles and bring them back to the universities, we need an intellectual revolution, because in today's university culture, this is really lacking. And we need to make a new connection between faith and reason. That's what my book is trying to do, to show that the Bible supports reason, and the English Puritans founded modern science like Sir Isaac Newton. And there is no real contradiction between the Bible and science. So we can teach the Bible in the universities, and it can really make a change in the culture.
Well, it really would. And I really thought, Roy, following 9/11 in 2001, that we would really have kind of this revival in the country, so to speak, that people would get back to the Judeo-Christian roots and realize how the country was formed, the exceptionalism of this country and the gift given to us. But that didn't last very long. And then we see all these things that thwart up, and a war on Christianity, as some call in this country. So how do we thwart what it seems to be such a powerful force that is against having Christian and Judeo-Christian principles?
Well, I identify the main problem is this philosophy of Hebrew scripture and the monotheistic worldview is totally neglected and abandoned in the universities, and the next generation, the students, are not exposed to these ideas in philosophy. I mean, they are taught the philosophy of Greeks, of Plato, and German philosophy, but there is, if you study the history of, like, say, the top U.S. universities like Harvard and Yale, they were built by Puritans, and they studied the Hebrew Bible in the Hebrew language. So what I'm calling for is an intellectual revolution to return to this philosophy and understand it like the Puritan philosophers, John Locke, Isaac Newton, Francis Bacon. They were the founding ideas that the founding fathers in politics realized in founding the United States. But these ideas came from the Bible.
Well, those are very... Well, you're on solid footing, on solid ground. Have you taken this message to college campuses already? And if so, what response do you get?
Well, I'm trying to do that. We have a liberty movement here in Israel as well, and I'm communicating. The book has just came out very recently, but I'm doing my best, and I'm trying to get it to both the intellectuals in Israel and in the U.S.
Well, it would behoove us then to read your book. It's called The Objective Bible. Roy Brzala is our guest here today. Roy, how do we get the book here in the States? How do we do that now?
Well, it's available on Amazon right now in a Kindle version, digital, but it will be also in paperback very soon.
Very, very nice. Is Israel your home?
Sorry again?
Is Israel your home? Is that where you live?
Yes, I live in Tel Aviv.
Very good. And we kind of cringe, some of us here in this country, that the United States under this current administration not partnering with Israel as we have in the past, and a lot of us still feel that's the best route to go and a great thing to do in the great bonds between Israel and the United States. And hopefully we will continue that, and your book will shed light on so many problems that we have in this country, which, in all honesty, you have hit the nail on the head in several facets, and we look forward to reading the book and also having you back on the program real soon.
That's great. Thank you. Thanks a lot for having me.